first started in sales, I wasn't naturally a great salesperson. You know, people say, oh, born salesperson and things like that. Like, I wasn't. I struggled in the first few months. I didn't really know what I was doing, didn't really understand it. Anyway, I read this book. I remember, like, I was in probation and I read this book. I literally drove on a Friday night to Borders bookshop, bought this book, Selling to Win by Richard Denny, read it start to finish in a weekend, came back, boom, just started selling. Something clicked. So I read that book, and then I kind of like got a bit of a bug for it, because I realized that, like, actually I've learned something and now I'm better at it. So, like, this is a thing. And that was like 20 years ago, and I've continued to do that. So in the last 20 years, I've studied so many different things that has all led me to where I am today and having the skill set that I've got. So things like spin selling, back in the day I used to love Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar, used to have all the books, used to be obsessed with them. Like, when anyone joined my team, I always used to be like, you have to read these books, you have to ring Selling to Win, you have to read this, you have to read that. But I've literally spent 20 years learning. And, you know, I think I do struggle to think, how do people keep reinventing themselves in their job if they're not learning, if they're not putting new information in? Like, I'll hear a word and then I'll be buzzing about that then, and that'll be my thing. That'll be like what I'm talking about. So yeah, and that's all of it's led me to where I am today. So now I'm working as a business consultant, or sales consultant. Business consultant is probably a bit broad. No, very sort of focused on the sales side. Like, I do think that maybe there's room for businesses to always, like, look at their sales strategy, even if it's working. Like, you know, what if there's something else you could be doing? What if there's something else that you could say today to your staff that's going to motivate them and get them thinking differently? If you've got a salesperson who's been on the phone for like 10 years doing the same thing all every day, like, at what point are you going to think, right, okay, like, maybe they need to listen to something new, maybe they need some fresh ideas? Sometimes I think, like, when people are good, we can almost be like, oh, they don't need managing, or they don't need us to get involved. But people actually do. Like, nobody can just do the same job 10 years round the clock and not need something fresh, something new. Selling has evolved. We're not selling in the same way that we were 10 years ago. Business has evolved. You know, being able to access information so easily on, you know, on YouTube, on Facebook, on anything, any of these mediums. Like, when I was cold calling 20 years ago, I could ring somebody, say who we are, tell them what we do. Now, by the time I ring them, they're already typing it in. They've already gone on ChatGPT and asked how good the company is. Like, literally, it's so different. You have to sharpen your skills. I'm always sharpening my skills. Like, I'll think nothing of downloading an audio about sales on a Sunday. That will be my listening while I'm doing my bits. I'm always learning and trying to become better. So I just wanted to share this because I just think, like, it's important we talk about it. I think, you know, questioning some salespeople, like salespeople of a certain skill set, it's almost taboo. It's like, oh no, don't question them. Like, they're good. Like, don't. But actually, you know, if we're going to talk about elevating sales teams and taking them to the next level, how can you elevate them? How can you know, if your target's going up by 10% this year, what is that 10% that you're doing this year to get those results? I guess these kind of things that I live for. I love it.